Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, Heather Stargazer here to do a reading for the collective for whoever, whenever, wherever. If you're new here, welcome in. If you're a returning gazer, hello my beautiful gazers. I hope you're all doing beautifully. Oh, these are some intense times. It's like everywhere we go, everybody's got this touchiness. I want everybody to take a deep breath. We're grounding ourselves. Take another one, deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. One more time. Thank you, Spirit. Which jumped out while we were shuffling? The air of air, chaotic return. See, we were just saying that feeling, right? And then earth of air, wise craft. You know, I'm hearing chaos magic. Sometimes things need to be shaken up a little bit. That's just part of the way that things work, right? If you want to clean out your desk drawer, you're probably going to make a mess on top of your desk while you're organizing things and then putting them neatly back in the drawer the way that they go. So it's almost like that idea of like having to make a little bit of a mess to clean up a little bit of a mess. But how messy do we want it, right? We don't want it too messy. Chaotic return, air of air, because it would be in the mental realm, right? Air of air, because it's messing with our minds. Is it giving you a lot to think about? And there's a cube here, and it's like you're being boxed in, but at the same time you can see through the cube. Is that boxing in something that's limiting you? Is that boxing in something that is a boundary that you've placed for yourself? Air of air. As the interconnected intelligence meets itself, the impossible is realized. Wow. Leaps of logic, quantum jumps, unlikely shifts in perspective approach the unconditional allowance of everything as it is. A card calling me into the deepest mysteries of the interconnectedness of all things. It is at once a defiance of reason and a nurturing of true knowing. Opening the heart is opening to the radical. If I have ideas about what it means to have an open heart, then they are shattered as I find my own way. What leads from one thing to another is but a temporary alignment, and the absurd is smiling behind it all, just waiting its turn to play at the being of rational. Inquiry. What am I keeping myself from doing because it seems irrational, even though I sense it will be worthwhile? I'm drawn to the pendulum effect here, right? The entropy, the atrophy, the chaos, and then the coming together, the rhythmic harmony, right? The simpatico, where everything is suddenly in alignment with everything else around it. I saw 303. So what is it? Maybe you're telling yourself something is crazy, but you know that it might work, right? It would probably work. Follow your gut. And again, the rationale, right? The absurd laughing behind us. I've been thinking a lot about the Dada movement. I love the Dada. If you are unfamiliar with them, check them out. They're about a bunch of nonsense. They're an artist collective from the turn of the last century until maybe the first 2 decades of the 1900s. And they were artists, right? And they were anti themselves because that was nonsensical. Everything was silly. And they would do things that would be abrupt or that the people around them didn't really understand. And the leader of the Dada movement was an artist named Marcel Duchamp, one of my favorite artists of all time. I know I got a lot of favorite, but I am picky, right? There's a lot to choose from. And the Dada had Marcel Duchamp. He was a French artist. And he made these things called ready-mades, and there were these weird combinations of two things together that didn't make any sense, seemed to not make any sense. But what's strange is he said at that time that his artist or that his audience was 50 years in the future, that he wasn't making work for the people around him because the people around him wouldn't get it. They wouldn't have the context. But people 50 years from the time that those pieces were made would fully understand them and almost look at them like they were gauche because, like, of course, why? You know, like these weird things. And that was the nonsense of it, the irony of it. It feels like there's some things that maybe seem like nonsense, that smile of absurdity laughing behind the walls, right? That actually will make sense in the future. And it's your logic telling you that, it's your intuition telling you that. 444, right? If you viewed the issue however many years down the line, next year, 10 years, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, once we become antiquity and future generations are looking at us, did these things seem as absurd as they do to the people who are present around them, right? I'm also drawn to Marty McFly in Back to the Future when he's playing at the Under the Sea dance and he starts playing Chuck Berry, which they had never heard of. And then he goes into a guitar solo and he's really into it and he smashes the guitar or the doesn't smash it, but the amp falls down on the floor and everyone's just standing there staring at him like, what is wrong with this guy? And he's like, might be a little much for you, but I promise your kids are going to love it. It's like you are so future forward thinking that it seems irrational, but down the line, it makes a lot of sense. So, is it the boundary that you've placed? Is it the structure around the thing, right? What is it? Let's repeat it again. Am I keeping myself from doing something because it seems irrational, even though I sense it would be worthwhile? So that's definitely coming to light, right? There's things coming to light. Just put that there. Oof. All right, Earth of Air. And again, this feather, we've gotten this card before. This is a beautiful, beautiful card about wise craft. So again, using our tools wisely, right? And again, drawn to the Dada ready-mades. So they were putting things together that seemed unlikely, but actually in the future makes, some of them will never make any sense. And that's part of it, is that thinking about that, right? It says, as the earth energies ascend into the interconnected intelligence, the art and craft of living wisdom is developed. Again, that pendulum effect, the entropy and atrophy into the connectedness, right? The rhythmic synchronicity, harmonic resonance. Ooh, I'm hearing harmonic resonance. Skillful means passed on practices, studying, refining, and clarifying my intentions so they take me into a realm beyond my present understanding. This card reminds me that what is irrational to one is wise to another. It encourages me to seek both ever subtler and to temper myself against becoming trapped in any revelation. There are many doors to open. Having opened quite a few, it seems becoming evident that the order I must open them determines where they can lead. With this in mind, I set to discerning the natural progressions of earth and sky, the ways that reveal and nurture well-being. So again, with that, having the opened quite a few doors, right? There's a time and a place for these doors. And again, I go into that, I'm seeing that pendulum effect and that harmonic resonance, right? And sometimes things just aren't ready to congeal quite yet, but when the time is right, the wise know, so even if those others had seen it, in maybe a previously disorganized, chaotic state, and they said that will never fit, right? But you are in tune with the harmonic rhythms. You are in tune with the natural flow of things. And you know that when the time is right, they will connect. And that's the wise craft, right? What practices can I embody that will bring me and those close to me well-being? So like not giving in to the chaos, not giving into the movement, like being taken away by that chaotic show. I'm hearing by that chaotic show. Ooh, let's get some, because it's all a show, isn't it? Again, artists showing their work, showing the ready-mades. What is it that they have accomplished? What is it that they are aiming for? The musician up on the stage playing the songs. Just want to make sure, because they're all still not up, right? Ancestors, spirits, guides. Can you please talk to us about this chaotic return? I'm going to show you guys something in a second. Can you talk to us about this chaotic return? Wow, we have the Emperor out. The fortune cookie. It's about taking charge of the situation. 8 of Wands, getting communication that balances things out, right? The 6 of Pentacles on the bottom of that. And again, See how there's 4 here, but there's 2 here, and yet it's still balanced? Keep that in mind, that the weight of some things, the responsibility of some things, the impact of some things in their individual form is greater than that of things in mass, some other things en masse, right? So like a pound of feathers, you need a lot of pound of feathers to compare with a pound of steel. You just need one little piece of steel that could weigh a pound. It could be this big, but how many feathers does it take to weigh that much? And that's kind of where you're at, right? There's somebody who has quite a bit, and they're 1001, and they're ready and willing to share it with you. It could be a father-like figure, it could be a boss, it could be somebody with Aries tendencies. This is first house. And then I just saw 1010. So going from that beginning to that ending, something is ending, it's starting something new that will come to completion, and again start a new cycle. This is how it's feeling, taking control of that scenario, that situation. Paternal energy is protective energy, right? And being able to regulate the means without being overly controlling, right? If you know somebody is good at something, this emperor here, he knows who's good at their jobs. He knows how to delegate, right? And then he puts the trust in those delegations that their jobs and their work will be done well and fully, because he has chosen people who are capable and who want to fulfill the thing for the greater good, right? Or for the greater accomplishment, for the goal. So he doesn't need to have his hand in everything. He doesn't need to micromanage everything, because he has faith in the people who are under his charge, right? And I think that's where you're at. You're like, this, there is a lot of chaos here, but if we think about it fully, now this is what I was going to show you. See this one line in this cube? And it winds up being kind of like a Klein bottle here, where the fourth dimension just kind of goes back into itself here, or maybe like a Mobius of some kind. This is very Escher in drawing, isn't it? Because it's a little bit, like irrational, right? We talk about that doesn't make any sense. Well, this emperor knows that this is a means to the next level, right? Oh, well, we could use this one that's offset to connect something else to it. He's seeing what is possible in the future, right? And it brings in good fortune, the fortune cookie. This could be anything. This is going to vary and be different for each and every one of you, but it's coming to you today or very near in the future, but we ask for today. So whatever day you're watching this is the day. And there's going to be some little tidbit of information in there that helps you along, right? Through this communication that you're going to be getting from this emperor, right? And it's like a lot of back and forth, a lot of little bits of things that are going to amass into the bigger thing. Think of the feathers again, right? So let's get some more details about this. Can you tell me about this wisecraft? Because we have this communication, we have this fortune cookie coming in. I heard something fortunate. Beautiful. Tell us about this wisecraft, the earth of air, a lot of air and a lot of the mental realm. What? 2 Geminian cards coming out here. You get the Lovers and the Magician. Damn, wow. Wow, damn. All the power lies with you. Wisecraft coming, the Magician coming out with wisecraft. You are able to manifest these things. There is a choice here. And what's really interesting is the moon is on the bottom. Again, things that can't be seen. Look how much it looks like that fortune cookie card. I think that some of the things that you're going to hear are going to be very unexpected and might even seem irrational, or maybe your response to them might seem irrational, but they're quite well founded. Again, future forward thinking. You have all the resources available to you. And again, a choice about partnering, a choice about who to connect with. And I think that this Emperor energy wants to connect with you. When you put the Emperor and the Magician together, all things are possible. All resources are available, and that is some getting shit done energy for sure. It's like nothing can stand in your way because you're being mindful and you're using your wisdom here, right? And again, the choice of the partnerships and the moon, there's some things that remain to be seen. That's, I think, part of this chaotic knowing, right? That maybe we don't know where things are going to wind up while they're in the big mix of things, but they do become more stable when they start harmonizing with themselves. And I think that you as the Magician have the ability to manifest those things. Ooh, as I shuffled that, the Emperor comes out. It's almost like who's in charge here? And again, what seemed irrational, what seemed strange, that could be integrated into the new to create something beautiful, new, and wise. And again, these cards are all in the upright. Can you tell us? I want to know about this Emperor. Can you tell us about this Emperor, please? These are the Van Gogh Tarot. Page of Pentacles, Five of Swords. Feeling like there's got to be a remedy to something here. Very, very interesting force. So you got this Five of Swords, competition. Maybe you beat out the competition. Maybe you beat out the competition. News is coming through today. This big boss energy feels that, sees that, right? Maybe you are seeing somebody and there's somebody that you are selecting, or a choice that you are making, and that's what you're throwing your resources at, right? That's what you're giving your coin to, or the coin that's being given to you. Take it how it resonates. But either way, talks about somebody making a choice. And again, big boss energy, Emperor twice. We are in Aries season. This is the Aries card. This talks about first house. And again, taking control of your situation, being the big boss in your own life, right? Protecting, honoring, nurturing, caring. And I just feel like there's like this level of safety and security, right? That you are creating within your own world, even if it comes from entropy and chaos. And putting those resources and things together, right? We're talking about the air of air. How are we thinking about these things? And then here's that 5, the competitiveness, the winning at all costs. It feels like the winning is done here. And because of how gracefully you handle the pieces at play, right? The balls in the air that you're juggling, there's an investment that wants to be made in you and your work. I know I'm hearing expect a call today. Poor Bear, he wants to go outside and it's like sleeting snow rain. It's so nasty that they go out there for 2 seconds and they're like, and then they come back in and you just feel so bad. Okay. Can you tell me about this fortune cookie? Thank you, Bear. We'll be out there in a minute. Ooh, Ace of Wands with the fortune cookie, 2 of Cups, listen, and the 4 of Wands. We're celebrating this energy. I'm going to let him out real quick. And then he wouldn't even go out. I'm telling you, the irrationalness of the day. We're just going with it, right? Fortune cookie, you get the Ace of Wands and the 2 of Cups. What? If somebody wants an encounter with you. They're very attracted to you. You're hearing some news about how well these 2 forms fit together, whether that be the form of the mental realm, the form of the spiritual realm, the form of the job, or actually like forms that you have to fill out, or get your mind out of the gutter, right? That's for you. Whatever it is for you, take it how it resonates. The 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups with this fortune cookie. And again, about messages, news coming through here. The Page of Wands. It's very, very exciting. Or the Ace of Wands. It's very, very, very exciting. You get the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands with the 2 of Cups. Come on. Someone is very, I heard, intrigued by what it is that you have to offer, and they want to celebrate with you. They're excited, right? There is a lot of excitement. And again, 4, all the 4s are connected to the Emperor, and this is Venus and Aries. This talks about having a lot of excitement for the new thing, people around you coming together and celebrating it with you. This is sometimes a wedding, sometimes it's a party. Usually what it does infinitely represent, though, is that establishment of new foundational quarters, right? To start to build up the house, the farm, the business, the relationship, the idea. All right, take it how it resonates. But this is beautiful energy, and it's very exciting. Tell me about the 8 of Wands. What are these messages? Can you tell us about this 8 of Wands? Strength and the 2 of Wands. Wow. And then again, the Emperor on the bottom. These messages are coming from someone. Take it how it resonates, but it's coming out as the divine masculine, hardcore, a lot. Like Emperor showing out 3 times. Strength and fire energy, driven to do this. Wands, Leo, the sun. that graceful strength. Listen, you got a lot of strength. I'm hearing this. This person is calling you, telling you that your work, your ideas, what it is that you've been doing has a lot of strength. You have a lot of personal strength and grace. Where are you going to go with it? Something is on offer to you and you're at a crossroads. Which way do I go? There, you know, and kind of like leaning on that, that mental realm, those thoughts, because he's got this coming through here like this. And again, with the moon in the background and the moon right here. Being straightforward with yourself about how you feel about things. And knowing that there are always going to be some things that you don't know. There's always going to be some things we don't know. What's down the path. And again, like the air of the air, what seems irrational now might be completely rational in the future. Dadas, right? He was the one who put armut on the back of the toilets in 1917. Maybe you've heard of that one. I tried to get people to do it in 2017. Just get everybody to write armut on the back of all the toilets. I remember. It wasn't as successful of a campaign as I had hoped, but hey, maybe in 100 years we could try it again. Well, see, the magician. Tell me about the magician. The tower, the chariot. What it is that you're doing and creating is so powerful. And these are all major arcana. There are so many major arcana. This is a big deal, right? And again, Aries energy, because oops. The magician is mercurial, and it represents Virgo and Gemini in that mercurial vein, and it also represents Aries in that spark of life, in that spark of the new. It's all four aces, right? Having those available to you, it's almost like ground shattering, having your head and your heart on the same page. This really gets you moving. You could actually be invited to go somewhere or be somewhere. It's surprise, surprise. And I think that they are just as surprised and delighted by you as you are by them and it. Find out about the lovers. Whatever this is today, whatever this situation is for you, it is going to be, I heard, transformational. It's a huge deal. Even the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Lovers card out. This is like a match made in heaven. Can you tell us about the Lovers card, please? 3 cards. You guys. The Magician again. Oh, 4 cards. 4s. The King of Wands. Again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. 8 of Pentacles. Get to work. Get to work and master that. This person wants to work with you on something new. The Fool. It's something that maybe neither of you have done before. It's like putting these two methods together, these 2 things together to start something new that maybe has never been tried before. It's going to be very, very, very successful. You got the Hierophant on the bottom. This is a commitment. There could be a contract on offer. This person is committed to you and what you're doing and to the project. Are you as committed to them? I think you will be once you see what's on offer here and you kind of let go of the idea of irrational being nonsense, right? Of the irrational being nonsense and putting it into your wise craft. Wow. There is a partnership at hand. This is a match made in heaven, and you are going to be creating whatever. Like you are the power of the master manifester right now. And again, taking control. There's the idea of confidence, not being overbearing, right? Just being in charge of yourself, in charge of how things are working, and then the powers that be, right? When we have the Emperor coming out so much with the Hierophant, it really talks about something that's very powerful. It could be an institution, it could be your boss, it could be the CEO, but it could be a church, right? It could be governmental. Take it how it resonates. You could be getting approved. This could be like being offered some sort of like grant or loan by a larger entity because of they want to help you manifest the thing that you're manifesting. And again, there's a lot of stuff about it that you can't see, right? There's a lot of unknowns here, but you're going to be working with those unknowns because you know that your audience is in the future. Definitely calling in the chaos around here, right? That's the thing about it. Whew. Once it starts. Ancestors. Okay, so these are the tea leaf cards. They're meant to help us learn how to read tea leaves, but I love them as just cards. Ancestor spirits, guys, can you tell us just a little bit about this Emperor energy here? Ooh, we got two of them coming out here. So we have the letters F and T with this Emperor energy. The letter F, it says fire, passion, sensual longings, and anger. Look what's nearby, to look to see what's nearby. Okay, and there's a lot of information and health going on here. It says good news from afar, a fish. If it's in the midst of dots, a long journey is predicted. We do have the chariot out. And good fortune, right? A flag is a warning sign, bringing attention to something important in your life. I'm hearing don't let this pass you by, right? Flowers, good fortune, or a happy marriage. I guess there's like marriage doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Of course it can be, but I always say you can marry ketchup, right? It's two things coming together to work as one. All right, that doesn't mean either of them lose themselves. It means that they remain individuals, and that marriage becomes the one thing, the business becomes the thing, the lesson becomes the thing, the book, the project, the relationship, whatever it is. And it takes those two sides to make things work together. Keep that in mind. Don't lose yourself. Oh, now I'm hearing Eminem. Symbols with the begin with the letter T. Tigers. Tigers symbolize fighting for your desires. There could be something to overcome. That Five of Wands came out. It came out early on. It's something that you've already been working to overcome, and you are going to be successful at it. Look, thimble, changes at home. Toad, an unknown enemy. And then tower represents a large metropolis area, and we do have the tower out here. Again, being aware, being fresh but not naive. Right, excited, enthusiastic, but not like we're just being taken advantage of, right? Not gullible. So keep that in mind. And I think that you could maybe you aren't fully aware of the competition, of what the others are doing, of what's going on the outside of you, and that's fine. Concentrate on what it is that you're doing. That's what's making your work so successful. That's what's making you unique and different, and that's what's drawing them to you. So you just go on with your bad self. Okay, can you tell us about this? I would like to know a little bit about these messages that are coming through. I think everybody wants a little bit of clarity about these messages coming through. Again, wow, T is strong here. You got another letter T. It says the table represents gatherings. Teddy bear, children, that childlike wonder could actually have to do with children, could have to do with someone named Ted or Theodore. We have tent, which means travel. Now we have several cards of travel. There is movement, right? And travel could be over a distance. It could be over a short distance. It could be going back and forth, like commuting. So take that how it resonates. Teapot, social gatherings with friends. You could be going somewhere, and going somewhere on this journey is you're being invited. That's what I'm hearing. You're being invited to connect, to go somewhere, to connect with this person, with this thing. Go. It's going to be great for you. Throne, power and authority. You are entering some area of your life. A throne can mean promotion or fulfillment of ambition. And again, with the Emperor out twice, 3 times, and the Hierophant out, something or someone of power and authority is coming to work with you. Tell us about this tower. We want to know about this tower, please. And the Magician. Ooh, this is exciting energy. I heard groundbreaking. Starts with the letter J. Ooh, J and S. I didn't look at the bottom for the other two. Happened to this time. Jug signifies generosity. Your friends are planning a celebration or a party as a confirmation for that Four of Wands. Jewels, expensive gifts. Wow. It feels like whatever that you have to offer here, you are the expensive gift. Your work is the valuable thing, and that is what you are bringing. You are the gift to this situation. It might be shocking for you, right? You might be receiving I heard bonuses. Gosh, claim this energy. Take it. Yes, please. You worked hard for this. Absolutely you did, because you are the wise crafter. On the bottom it says steeple. Ooh, disappointment. Sunrise with the beginning letters. Symbols beginning with the letter S. Steeple equals disappointment. Sunrise, a new beginning and a sense of rebirth. And again, this goes back to that Five of Wands or Five of Swords energy and feeling that competition and maybe feeling a little disappointed because everything just seems to be scattered to the wind when it isn't. It's just being reorganized, right? A swallow, joyful news from a loved one. Swan, happy marriage. Sword, lovers' quarrels. Okay, so don't allow the fear of the chaos to put you in a space of doubt or to put you in a space of argument. All right. This is talking about working together with people, working together with someone in particular. Can you tell us, please, about this? Lovers, Magician, Four of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and the Fool. Can you please tell us about that one? Woo. Symbols beginning with the letter D and symbols beginning with the letter U. So now we have FTTJDU says the door invites you to step into a new chapter of your life. It also refers to a wide range of possibilities. Again, that chaos. Wow. Dragon, this symbol represents a sudden change. So does that tower. Things are going to be moving very quickly once they start moving. A duck, wealth and success in business. Dove, you will receive affection. You guys, how beautiful. How beautiful. With the letter U, UFOs, psychic ability or phenomenon. Again, with your intuition. Again, with it seeming irrational. Again, with it seeming crazy. Again, with it seeming like something that doesn't make any sense at the time that it's presented. But in the future, it's common sense. It goes from modern irrationality to future common sense. How often has that happened? How often? I can't even tell you how many times in my life, especially with my work on my other channel. And people just act like I'm an idiot. They talk to me like I'm crazy. And then a little way down the line, they start to actually see the thing. And then suddenly the things I was saying aren't so crazy anymore. And the things that I'm presenting aren't so nuts. And suddenly all of those things start to click together and make sense. And I'm not over there telling them, I told you so. They got to come to it in their own time. These people have come to this in their own time. 3113. They have come to you in this time, right now, because they see the logic and the reason and the rationale of the ideas that you're presenting. So don't let the fear of previous experiences where people might have shunned you back or said mean things to you or didn't give you the credit where you deserved it. This is the time for that, the time for you to get the culmination of all of the work, the justification, right? The rationalization, the validation, all of those things are on offer to you because you've worked for them. And they're being seen, and they're being seen by some pretty big cookies here, right? Umbrella, perhaps you are in need of shelter. If open, the shelter will be found. If closed, the shelter will be denied. So you got to be open to it. And again, being open to those things. Unicorn, something lost for good. So it's almost like grab hold of this, take this opportunity, or it might pass you by. And I think that this emperor energy here sees that you are the unicorn and sees that work is valuable and precious and rare, magical. And it doesn't want it to get lost. Doesn't want it to maintain its mythical status, wants to bring it into reality, right? Earn something done in memory of a deceased loved one. See symbols around for clarity. So you could be actually doing this in the name of someone who's passed. You could have an ancestor, it could be a patriarchal figure of some kind who's helping you along, who's supporting you and helping you through this on the spiritual plane. But it could also be for our ancestors and everyone who has worked in their lives to get us to the point where we are in our lives and getting us to the next stage for the next generation. Right. Ooh. Thank you, Spirit. These are the innovation wag pack, because of course it's exactly what we need right now is spirit, ancestors, guides. It says, it is disease that makes health pleasant, hunger that makes fullness good, and the weariness that makes rest sweet. Doesn't that look like that thing from Star Wars? If you guys actually know what that is, let me know, okay? It says, use darkness to shed light. And again, about that chaos theory, that chaos going into harmonic resonance and the pendulum effect, definitely seeing it. It says, we don't fully appreciate something until we have thought about or experienced its opposite. For example, success is more rewarding if we've tasted defeat, life more precious if we've been close to death, and love dearer if lost and regained. As German novelist Hermann Hesse put it, any life expands and flowers only through division and contradiction. What are reason and sobriety without knowledge of intoxication? What is sensuality without death standing behind it? What is love without the eternal enmity of the sexes? Expressed in a different way, piano virtuoso Arthur Schnabel once explained the secret of his artistry by saying, the notes I handle no better than any pianist, but the pauses between the notes, that is where the art resides. The 13th century Sufi poet Rumi had a similar thought and insight. Every craftsman searches for what's not there to practice his craft. Wise craft. What's dark or missing in your current situation? And how does it shed light on what is there? Interesting too, is like, it's a question mark. You see it now? Took me a minute to see it until I put it next to this one and I was like, the key, and I was like, oh, it's a question mark. Maybe I'm thinking of the Riddler from Batman. These questions here, and you being the wise craft, the one who's able to create those things. It is being seen. Go with it. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe if this resonated with you at all. And thank you for coming back and seeing this again next time.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.